So just jumping right into it, to begin, I'm going to start off the way that I usually do, which is with my MAC paint pot, and this is in the color Soft Ochre, just applying a thin layer of that onto my entire lid, not only to help with kind of a base and to prime, but also to just even out my skin tone onto my lid. My eyes are pretty pigmented on their own, and if I don't do this, the colors that I apply on top, they just don't really show like I want them to. After that, I'm going to be applying this. This is my NARS pressed powder in the color Mountain, and just applying that onto my entire lid in order to further even out that lid color. And also, this helps me out with blending. So if you're ever having any issues with blending, or if you're finding that your eyeshadows kind of leave that skid mark, try this, and I guarantee it'll help. Guarantee it. Starting off with the color Sora and my E40 brush from Sigma, I'm grabbing that and applying that onto my crease, but obviously I go right above my crease in order to use this color as a transition shade. And just working that in windshield wiping motions as well as circular buffing motion. So just do the two back and forth and building the color up to my liking and to the intensity that I want it to be. Usually I try to build it up a pretty decent amount, so I go back about 3 times onto the pan, and I'm pretty set after 3 times usually. Next, moving on with the same brush and the color Frappe from the palette, and just applying that on top of the Sora color in the same way. So just buffing it, circular motions as well as windshield wiping motions on top of the color that I just placed. And just working this in the same way that I worked in Sora by just building it up and going back as many times as I would like in order to get the color to the shade that I want it to be in. And I'm really sorry about my voice, everyone, but I am a little bit under the weather. I don't know if you can tell, hopefully not, but I just thought I'd mention it just in case anybody does notice. That's all it is. Next, going in with my Sigma E35 in the color Mars from the palette, I am going to be applying that onto the outer V and along my crease. So I'm going in first by patting it and then dragging the color onto my crease after the initial product is placed on the outer V, and then grabbing the E40, the bigger blending brush that I first initially started the look with, in order to blend it out. And I go back and forth, so every time that I apply the color Mars, after I apply that, I go in with the bigger blending brush in order to blend it out, so that it's just easier when you slowly build up the color like this. It's easier to blend in between because it's just going to give you that gradient effect that you want, because you obviously don't want to know exactly where the color started and where it ended, and it's easier overall. The process is just easier. So going back and forth between placing the color and then blending it out, placing the color and blending it out. I wanted to give my eye a little bit more dimension and depth, and so I went in with the same brush, the E35, and grabbed the color Aphrodite from the palette and built that into my outer V. And then, like with the Mars color, I dragged it into my crease a little bit, but I mainly focused this particular color on the outer V. And of course, using the big blending brush, the E40, which is my favorite for blending from Sigma, I just buffed it out in between applications. Using my finger, I grabbed this beautiful foiled eyeshadow from the palette. It's called Insomnia, and I applied that onto my lid, of course, stopping right at the crease on the top and right at the outer V on the outer portion of my lid, and just packed it on until I was content with how it looked on my lid. And then again with my E35, I grabbed the color Aphrodite from the palette once again, and then just built up the intensity on the outer V and also used that to blend out the edges. And then I went back with a clean blending brush. This is another E40 from Sigma, in case you're wondering, and then just blended out all of the edges, kind of tried to combine the colors as best as I could all together so that they all looked nice and seamless. For liner, I'm using the Inglot 77 liner and applying a pretty long and thick winged line onto this look. Before moving on to lashes, these are from the House of Lashes in the Pixie Luxe style. Then going back with the Inglot liner, I'm applying that onto my entire waterline. And I'm just using the exact same brush that I used to apply the wing line. Then using a flat brush, this is the flat definer brush from Sigma, I'm applying the color Aphrodite onto my lower lash line, but I am stopping right before the inner corner. And then pack the color Sora onto a pencil brush in order to just blend that lower lash line out. Once my lash glue was dry, I decided, of course, I needed some mascara, and so here I am just applying some mascara onto my top and my lower lashes. Then using a pencil brush, grab the color Artemis and apply that onto the inner corners of my eye in order to finish off the look. So that is it, everyone. Thank you all so much for watching. I know this isn't like an everyday look. It's more of a bold type of look using the MannyMua palette, but don't worry, I have plenty of more looks coming your way with this particular palette. So stay tuned. As always, take care, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.